A couple days ago, I posted a Hazard 5 Pacifist Run for Deep Rock Galactic. In a Pacifist Run, you have to not kill any bugs and have an end kill count of 0. Some things can't be helped, like if a minehead turret kills the bugs or they get squashed by the drilldozer. Speaking of drilldozer, I thought to myself, if that's even possible on any hazard level. Why? Because you're not just protecting yourself, you're also protecting the drilldozer, Doretta. And during these missions, you have to deal with the several swarms, as well as a pit stop or oil shale, and also the drilling into the Heartstone, which has big floating rocks and laser columns. But is it doable on Hazard 1? Let's test it out. My first attempt, I picked the driller in order to drill forward to blow up the oil shale ahead of time, and then to swoop in with the canisters to make the pit stop as short as possible. During this first attempt, I forgot I had the Thorns perk and killed some swarmers. Oops. My second attempt, I turned it off. We spawned inside a magic hole, which is a feature in this biome. Looking it up post-mission, it gives a low gravity effect and movement buff for a limited time. I started out by collecting some nitra, and then started to explore the rest of the room, which was bigger than the one in the previous mission. I thought it might be the case that the pit stop might be here, so I started to mine and blow up some oil shale. But then I kept falling and got fed up. It was a good thing I had the tunnel rep here. I figured I didn't have a guarantee that it would stop here, and concluded this was all just a waste of time. Then I de-stressed by hanging around the magic hole, which at the time I still had no idea what it truly was, bouncing around and playing around with the grunts. I then started the drilldozer just to see what would happen to the grunts I already pulled in. Surprisingly enough, it made it through just on repairs alone and without killing any of the grunts, although Doretta was certainly out for blood, given some of them were killed during the drill sequence. We stopped in a different room, and I got to work with drilling to get to the oil shale. The thing is, the grunts were still there, so I had to double back to Doretta every couple of seconds to make sure her armor layer doesn't get fried. As you can imagine, this is not fun when you have oil shale that is stuck on the ceiling and grunts after you at the same time. But then, what if the oil shale is too far away and you have to invest time to get to it? And what if there's a Praetorian? Well, you end up losing a layer. I threw down some C4, planning to blow up the bugs and this mission, but I decided against it just to see how far I could go. Surprisingly enough, I was able to fill one canister, and the HP of the second armor layer plating did last longer than I was expecting. Some of the grunts also disappeared, maybe? So I was able to fill the second canister without too much issue. We started the drilldozer up again, and again, Doretta started to kill whatever ended up being in her way. Somehow we made it to the end without another pit stop, and I immediately started the drilldozer. The drilldozer has 4 phases, as indicated by the health bar at the top of the screen. The first phase is a basic swarm. Now, I could probably pass the first phase without too much issue, as long as my cumulative health didn't get lower with the web spitters and there was enough gap time so my shields could recover. The fact that in between each phase the explosion kills the nearby bugs also helps a lot as well. The second phase, you have to deal with the large floating rocks, which do some big damage. Now, I don't normally do Hazard 1, so I had no idea how many there might be, and I was too afraid to look up to find out. Thankfully, there only appeared to be just a couple, which they didn't seem to do too much damage anyways, so that's enough for me to get by. The third phase is another swarm, which means more repairing and to dodge projectiles focused on yourself. It's important to move around when repairing to make sure your shields can recharge. That's assuming you can see through the webs. The fourth phase, we have the laser columns, and thankfully not too many. They don't seem to do that much damage as long as you keep on top of the repairs. There does appear to also be an invincibility period after repairing, so this also works in your favor. and eventually you have it. After you get the Heartstone, it's pretty easy from there, but there is still one last thing we need to do.
Secured. Press the button on the mule and we will send in the drop pod.
So yes, you can do a drilldozer mission with 0 kills on yourself, although Doretta's team kills may keep it from being a truly pacifist run.